Welcome to Observe China. I'm your host, Jason Wong. President Donald Trump called a Republican member of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers after she claimed to have been threatened and harassed for not certifying the election results in the populous Michigan county, she said. He was checking in to make sure I was safe after hearing the threats and doxing that had occurred, Monica Palmer told the Washington Post, referring to Trump. Palmer and another Republican, William Hartmann, signed affidavits to rescind their votes on late Wednesday, alleging that officials also told them they would audit the election results, but, according to the pair, later found out it would not happen. It's unclear if the affidavits have a legally binding effect, although Michigan state officials said they do not. Regarding Trump's phone call, it was not pressure, adding that Trump showed genuine concern for my safety, Palmer told the newspaper. Is it really the first time Republicans and Trump have been aware of voting fraud? From the certain reports and evidences, can we tell that Trump's plan is moving forward? Is it really true that, like some people claim, Republicans have no idea that voting fraud would take place in this election? Or was there a plan in the making? Let's talk about it from the sources we can gather. It seems that Trump has been laying a plant since after the Russian investigation in the first part of the plan. Remember this order. In 2018, Trump signed this executive order declaring national emergency related to Russian and Chinese hackers during the 2018 midterm election. This executive order was aimed to reduce foreign influences in the election voting system. In the recent video, I had mentioned that the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is responsible, according to this order, to report to the president any signs of voting machines and voting system containing defects. What this order does is the three following points. 1. It says, with the current evidences, we cannot conclude that there is election interference. But the machines and the systems used in the election have fake security risks. What Trump did here is that although currently we do not have solid evidence to suggest voting integrity issues, it does not mean the future there won't be any. To the methods and information sources and investigations regarding election security issues are kept secret. 3. The constitutional rights for individuals or collectives' properties is rendered ineffective here. In other words, properties can be taken regardless of constitution rights. If the raid on the site and Dominion servers were true, then Trump is working on lawsuits, but also working secretly to begin operations that would treat the parties involved as treason. What do I mean? So Trump may have already been planning this for at least since 2018 to do something big in 2020. Let me explain the second part of the plan. Fire head of Defense Department Mark Esper install new counter-terrorist expert Christopher C. Miller. He also stopped Gina Haspel, the CIA director, from attending daily briefings. Here you have to know the difference between the CIA and FBI. FBI is about domestic investigations. The CIA is all about intelligence and foreign information. Barring Haspel from attending these meetings is a sign that Trump wants to operate without CIA noticing. Trump wants to protect his resource is his intelligence information and ensure the highest confidentiality. The most recent was determination of CISA Director Chris Krebs, who got fired yesterday by Trump's for claiming that the election is the most secure in history. CISA is responsible for election-related issues. Trump is removing all of the highest leadership positions or renting them inaccessible to intelligence. In other words, the White House is operating without the knowledge of the CIA, DHS, or potentially FBI. At the same time, Biden's team is so eager to get in on the presidential daily briefing. We had a whole controversy regarding that recently. Biden wanted to be in on the daily intelligence briefing for the president even before he was certified as president. Trump is not allowing that to happen as another way to suffocate information access to the Democrat side. This is game to avoid losing informations or leaking their next move. According to Larry Johnson on the Gateway Pundit, that the German server was apparently inside a CIA facility in Europe rather than Seattle. Keep in mind that we cannot verify this as of now, but if you're asking why would the American election server be installed in a CIA facility, does this have any grounds? Well, technically, yes. First of all, normally you cannot operate on foreign soil. Without permission, storing voting information in a CIA facility is far more secure than any other companies or properties. So if the server was inside an American facility, it does not require access permissions. If that is true, then this operation to seize the server was done without the CIA knowing. How the CIA should have been the one to do the raid themselves, since they are responsible for foreign intels, but they weren't. Why? Because there are Democrat informants in the CIA who can keep an eye on it and would know Trump's move immediately, which means that the Biden camp and the legacy media would know to Trump skipped the CIA and went directly to the military through Christopher Miller, who has his longtime operatives that are loyal to him directly, going rate the server. And if Trump did this on the basis of treason and national security, it would warrant and justify the rate based on 3 of the executive order that I just mentioned. You can go take the server directly without any repercussion, and does not violate rights to property. According to Larry Johnson, such an operation would have been carried out with U.S. law enforcement present to take custody of the evidence. This is not the first time, Johnson says. A retired DEA officer told him about an incident where he entered a CIA facility in Frankfurt, backed up by the U.S. Army to get info the CIA was withholding that took place in the 1980s. So what happens to the server? And its evidence? Well, it is taken to the Department of Justice based on the executive order, and will be presented as court evidence by a U.S. attorney. Now it is getting to a point where Sidney Powell has been mentioning to collect massive amounts of evidence to the point beyond reasonable doubt, which means Trump wants to take this to the point where so much evidence can prove what has been happening in this election with voter fraud without rebuttal. Now let's talk about what CIA and Smartmatics are doing in the 2017 videos. Smartmatics director Antonio Mujica actually admitted to the AP in a video that election in Venezuela had voter turnouts manipulated. According to him, the reason many election security issues go undetected is because of a lack of cybersecurity. An audit, he says. Auditors need to be at every step for election security to occur, so the estimated participation rate and the official authorities' numbers, or about 1 million votes difference. Keep in mind he did not admit to Smartmatics being the one who amendment elated the data, nor did he say that voter fraud took place. However, it again aligns with what legacy media has reported before in the past years. That election security issues are real, that machines can be accessed by hackers or other means to manipulate votes, which they're now saying the opposite, saying there is no election fraud. But this does indicate that voter turnout numbers can be easily manipulated, at least by anyone who has access to the network. So this company Smartmatics, along with Dominion, made their way into the US right under the radar of the FBI and the CIA. With this massive global intelligence net, how did that not get detected by them? Suspicious acts, right? Or did they just choose to ignore it? And why would they do that? In the interview with Maria Bartiromo on November 15, Sidney Powell was extremely angry at the fact that Gina Haspel is still the director of CIA. Since 2018, which you took the role, there have been many reports of election systems from these companies. Continue security risks, though she and the CIA not know, or of course they do. I won't list the reports since we already talked about them in our previous videos, but they refuse to act on it. Why is that? Well, say CNN did a report on DEF CON hacking conference in 2017. There was an idea by Jake Braun to hack voting machines, so let me talk about who he is. From 2009 to 2011, Brown served as the White House liaison to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. He has also served as National Deputy Field Director for Obama for America in 2008, and as the Michigan Field Director for John Kerry in 2004. Why did he expose the voting machine security issues in 2017? Because that was when the Russian Gate was happening. They desperately wanted to use this type of events to show that it was easy for Russian hackers to hack into machines in order to prove that Trump was colluding with Russia. Although it would potentially cost Dominion the company, it's doubtful. It was a worthy sacrifice to bring Trump down at the moment. Little did they know, in 2020 they would go 180 on their words in full on calling the opposite, saying that this election was the most secure. We'll have to keep an eye on how Trump places cards in the coming weeks. And that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for our daily new videos Monday to Friday. As always, have a great evening.